Hello, Aries. How are we doing today? I had a million things I wanted to say before this reading, and now my mind is simply blank. And I will say that I had, normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to take a card that I just saw, and I'm going to just put that down and not tell you what it is. I am going to try to make these readings a little bit quicker. I've been doing like hour-long readings, and I tried to make the last one quick, so no promises. But if you clicked on the damn video, apparently you're okay with the length. I don't know. Oh, so here's one thing I wanted to say. So the Aries full moon was the harvest moon was on October 1st. It was super powerful for me, and hopefully for everybody else. I'm an Aries moon. I was raised by an Aries mom and an Aries dad. And what's funny about and I actually was just in a love triangle with two guys who both had Aries moons. So it was an Aries moon love triangle because we all had Aries moons. So I will be honest with you, and I can say this because I hold no bias anymore. I used to be terrified of Aries people because my parents are both Aries, and I did not have the best relationship with them, so I've always had a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. However, I wanted to mention, because of the Aries full moon, I actually did a lot of work with sorry, I'm just pulling out some cards here. I did a lot of work with releasing the pain associated with my parents and any guilt and any, childhood stuff. Sorry, my dog's sniffing around in the kitchen. I'm just like, Lord, I know he's going to go for something. Lord, he just tried to get I made this, I just started cooking recently, and I made like this potato thing last night, and he just took the whole fucking tray off my kitchen table. I was able to save it, but boy, oh boy, that dog is a hungry bitch. I love him so much, but oh, there he goes. He's eating just a plate. There's no food on that plate, but he's just a plate. So I can't like talk and also pull cards. Sorry, so if you have like weird pauses, this is so weird already. Okay. The last two readings I've done, I keep getting the same cards, and I'm shuffling. They're totally random. It's not like they're stacked like on the top or anything. I don't know. It's very strange. Anyway, what I was saying is I did some very intense work around the full moon that was really necessary, and I basically released all of this bad shit surrounding all of these people, all the guys that I was in this love triangle with, and my parents, all this stuff. And it was a long time coming. I've been working on this stuff, the full moons prior to this, for a little while, but this one felt really final and really complete, and I actually knew that I wasn't going to be able to do Aries readings until I did that, because I didn't want to come in with any bias. Okay, this card that I saw and I said I didn't want to pull. Okay, I'll just be honest. I'll just say what I'm talking about right now. I wasn't going to show you the cards yet. So I was shuffling these and I was pulling, and I saw the Three of Cups, which also came out yesterday. Well, it didn't come out yesterday, but I saw it yesterday. So I didn't pull it for I was doing, who was it? I was doing the Sagittarius reading, and I was talking about me losing my virginity in like a multi-person scenario. Yeah, if you want the tea, go watch their video. I'm not telling that whole story again, but basically I lost my virginity in a very funny, like public way. And the Three of Cups is like the threesome card. And so I saw this while I was shuffling for you, and I was like, should I take it? There was just too many cards that I saw from yesterday that I was taking, and I was just like, I don't know if I should take this. So I just kept shuffling, and then it came out again. The first time it was reversed, and that's maybe why I didn't feel like I should pull it. It's now upright, so I am going to take it. I'm just going to throw it wherever. I don't know where it's going to be. I'll fix that later. So we'll dive into that with... It is crazy, man. I'm shocked. I'm like... This happened yesterday. The title is like weirdest reading ever because the same exact cards that came out for the last reading had come out yesterday. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. The same fucking cards keep coming out, and I'm shuffling. So I don't know what is going on here. I really don't know what's going on. What was I saying? No, I don't remember what the fuck I was saying. It's crazy. It is so crazy, these cards. I keep seeing the same exact ones. Okay. I think I'm done pulling your past cards. I think I got a good amount. I haven't looked at all of them yet. But yeah, what I was saying about the full moon shit is like I didn't want to have any bias towards you guys, and I really feel like this full moon was like a really complete one. It's like doesn't feel like I need to continue doing work. It feels like I've been working on this, and this was like the final snip on all that stuff. So genuinely, there is no hate anymore, and I have forgiven all my parents. All my parents. Sounds like I have 10 parents. Yeah, that's God. Oh, okay. I also wanted to mention something. Do I? I'll just say I channeled a very important, like, angel, archangel last night. I won't say who, but, then I was walking today, and he's been helping me with tarot, and he was, like, helping me awaken my third eye, and he was doing this whole thing with me. And I knocked out like a fucking baby afterwards. I was so drained because it was good though. I felt really nice. It wasn't a bad drain. But he just gave me this today on my walk. And he insisted on me picking it up and putting it on my tarot table. I'm going to actually like tie it up to the table and make it a thing. But anyway, his stick is here. He's involved in all of this. So... I'm gonna get distracted if I don't pull all your cards. Now I'm just gonna pull all your cards and then I'll fucking talk. Apologies. Every time I say I want something to be quick, it never happens. Okay, you're getting all pentacle shit. I'm like trying to pull shit from your future, and it's just like, it's all pentacle shit. So this might be a career reading. I do want to just tell a little quick story. The way I do tarot, sorry, I talk a lot, number one, if you haven't noticed. Number two, I tell a lot of personal stories because normally if I feel like I'm called to tell them, I feel like it has something to do with the reading, or maybe you'll just enjoy listening. So I will say something, plus I have no one else to talk to, so I just want to tell you about a really funny thing that happened. Hold on, every time I try to talk, I'm like reorganizing the cards. It's hard to talk to the dead and talk to the living at the same time. Oh shit. This is interesting. They're telling me to put the... Lord, the stick just fell. Michael, we hear you. We hear you. You know what's funny? Do you know how he got me to talk to him last night? Oh my god, my dog is laying under here. I didn't even notice. Do you know how he got me to talk to him last night? So it was actually so weird. I'm glad I'm telling you because no one else is gonna listen to me. So yesterday, when I was, not last night, but the night before that, when I was sleeping, I woke up in the middle of the night to this super loud, like, bang, and I didn't look at what it was, but I was like, that's weird. My, like, cat and dog aren't moving around. I don't know what just fell. It's really weird, but I'll figure it out in the morning. So I woke up, and I'll just show you my altar, I guess. Sometimes my audio gets fucked up when I walk around, but, so this is part of my altar. If you can see, there's a lot of little things on here, but this thing right here, this fell, and not only did it fall, this was the only thing that fell, and it fell way over here on the ground. Actually, this wasn't the only thing that fell. It was this and this little rock here. And I just saw 11 minutes on this thing. 11 is very, very powerful number. Look it up. So I thought nothing of it. Well, I didn't think nothing of it, but I was like, is this a bad thing? Am I like under attack? Because he's like a protective person. So I didn't feel under attack, but I'm like, why did this just fall, you know, from my altar? And this stone, by the way, is, it represents, I guess I'll tell this story too. It represents letting go of this person who was not good for me, because we have a crystal shop on the street, and I was just walking past, and I know a woman who works there, and we were talking. She's really nice, and I was just telling her my situation, how I'm trying to let go of this guy, can't get rid of him, he's a Pisces. I don't know if y'all are dealing with any Pisces, but man, they have broken my heart. Only 2 people to break my heart have been Pisces. Heartbreaking ass bitches. So, hold on, I'm grabbing my dog. He's annoying me. Baby doll! Come here, you're gonna sit on mommy's lap? You're gonna sit on mommy's lap? Because you're annoying mommy. Okay, let's sit on mommy's lap for this reading. Okay, this is my boy. I don't know if you can see him. Okay, what are we gonna tell them? Alright, so I was telling this woman about how, you know, I'm trying to get rid of this guy, but it's really hard to let go. And she was like, give me your hand, close your eyes. And she put this rock, crystal, I don't know what the fuck it is, put it in my hand, shut my hand, and she said, this is going to help you let go of him. So she just gave it to me for free. And that was, like I said, I tried to release him around the full moon. He's an Aries moon. And that fell along with the picture of the Archangel man. So I was like, okay, maybe it has something to do with him. I don't know. So anyway, I didn't really think much of it, and I went about my day. And then, oh, now I know why my dog's on my lap, because late at night, I was petting my dog so aggressively. I was like hugging him because I love him so much, and I hit my head on the thing that where all my stuff is on, and it knocked the picture off. If you saw the side that I hit my head on, it's the complete opposite side. Nothing else fell except that one picture. I'll say his name. It's Archangel Michael. So it was the exact picture of him that fell twice in that day, and that's never happened before. And like I said, it was so random because I wasn't even anywhere near it. And there's so many other things on there that could have fallen. So I was like, okay, this man wants to talk to me. He literally had to hit me on the head to tell me. So I sat down, I did this whole thing. So I guess maybe he wants me to tell you about what I channeled last night. And I guess this is going to be a little bit different of a reading. I wasn't expecting to do this, but I think I'm going to put my dog down because he wants to get down. I'll put you on the bed. I'll put you on the bed. Look it. Have fun. Okay. I have my notebook right here. Apologies if this is not your thing. If you want a straightforward, quick tarot reading, go for it. Mine's more intuitive, drawn out, long, even though I want it to be short. It never happens. But hopefully some valuable shit. So apparently Archangel Michael wants to share some of the messages I thought were for me, for you. So So yeah, I sat down, I did this whole channeling, which I don't do a lot of times. I don't do like formal channelings. I get things throughout the day, but it's very taxing to do like a sit down, really trying to hear everything exactly that they say. And I actually didn't write most of it down. I filmed it and I can't really remember what I was saying because it's very difficult to think while you're processing that information. So it's like, if I can describe it, it's like you're a vessel. And in order to be a vessel, you can't really think. You can't really have like your human brain on. So a lot of the times when I'm doing a channeling, I just don't even remember what comes through my body. So that's why I have to film it or be really good about writing it down, which can be hard because it comes out fast. So I also wanted to say that my Aries friend just had her first baby, and she, oh, you know what's interesting? Do you know what's interesting? And I wasn't sure what he had me do this for. So he had me circle March last night. I don't know if you can see that. And I was like, is he talking about like Aries people? I'm like, I don't know. I guess that's like Pisces, but also Aries. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if that's significant. If you're born in March, this might be for you. I don't actually even know when the birthdays of Aries are. I'm not an astrologer. I just use this type of stuff as like a way to group people, I guess. And I know there's a lot of cool shit to astrology that I just don't know. So I believe in it, but I'm just not a professional. So yeah, there's what? March 20th. Well, there's 11 probably. Is there 31 days in March? I'm not doing the calculations. 10 or 11 days in March where you could be an Aries. So this could be for you if you're a March Aries. So yeah, I wanted to say that my Aries friend just had a baby, and it's her first baby, and it was after a miscarriage, a really terrible miscarriage. So I don't know if there's going to be anything that relates there. There might be something about parenting because I keep bringing up my parents, and I've recently been reparenting myself. It's like a therapy term, and I was talking with my friend about it. It's something that a lot of us need to do, so maybe that will come into this reading as well. I'm just looking through my notes. So I'm not even reading them, but I remember what he told me. I've recently had my first ego death experience, which is really important, and it's not something that you can force, so it's not something I would tell you to like go out and have an ego death like moment. I don't know if you can do that. If you can, congratulations, but it's something I think that has to come really naturally and just like in the moment. And for me, it was driven by love and love for other people. I'm trying, it's like love for other people, love for, I don't know how to explain it, but basically I'll tell you what happened. So I've been working on music. I'm a musician. I've been working very hard on music for about 11 years, and I have been taking it very seriously. However, I haven't released my original music because I've had this idea that I want to really perfect my craft. Like, I had this thing really early on where I decided instead of putting out a song when I'm 16 and then putting out a song, you know, putting out songs gradually from the time I'm like 16 or something, you know, my songs are not going to be great, and it's just going to be like a gradual getting better. And it's kind of like, do I want people to watch me while I'm getting better? Do I want eyes on me while I'm improving? Or do I want to, do I want to make gradual progress like that? Or do I want to really come out with a fucking bang? Do I want to make a fucking explosion? And that's very Aries energy. It's very like, I want to make a fucking bang explosion. I had a lot of explosion imagery lately. Very weird. I found a fucking suitcase the other day that was just like on the ground. I was like, this is a bomb for sure. I've just had a lot of like that type of stuff lately. So I don't know if there's something has to do with that, but that's very Aries energy. So anyway, I had been really looking forward to like my first big song that comes out to be like perfect, basically like amazing. And what ended up happening is I ended up doing work around a full moon again with healing some ancestral wounds where my great-grandmother had a really tragic story. She was an immigrant from Greece. She was forced to come to America because her husband paid for her and made her come here. She was a witch, and she got locked up in she couldn't speak English, but she was forced to come here. And she had a really good life in Greece, and she had money, but she came here, she was poor, couldn't speak English, you know, obviously, like, couldn't express herself, didn't have friends because she couldn't speak English. And she ended up putting all the furniture on the porch because she got really mad. And, you know, actually, I think she's an Aries. I think, is she? Wait, no. She died in April. Same thing. She died Aries season. Okay, so, anyway, she got locked up in one of the worst insane asylums ever. And there's, you know, stories. We don't know exactly what happened there. She definitely got electric shock therapy. She likely got a lobotomy and a lot of other fucked up things. So I ended up making a song about her. And it was a really, I mean, I'm telling you this story, but when you can really connect to it and really know that you're born from that, like, what really hit me is, like, I'm the first woman, aside from my mom, to really have the privilege of, like, choosing who I want to be with and choosing who I want to fall in love with and choosing if I want to be single. Just choosing where I want to live, choosing my career, like, just having freedom. And to know that she's just, like, a few generations away. You know, she was alive when my mom was born. She helped raise my mom. So she's not that far away from me, you know. I could have technically met her. Like, we could have been alive at the same time. And to know that she had such a different life from me, and to know that she was so mistreated and did not have the freedoms that I had, it was something that I really wanted to connect with. And also, no one in the family knew anything about her. Like, I asked my mom, do you know anything about her? That no one knows anything because no one seemed to care. And I just did a lot of work with that and digging through that, and I made this song. I made this song about her, and I really like the song. However, the stuff that I had been working on for like 11 years was music production and making sure my production skills were really good. And this song, production-wise, is very bare bones. Something I could have done, or it feels to me like something I could have done on my first year of doing music. It feels like it's an amazing song to me, but it doesn't feel like it proves my skills to anyone. It doesn't feel like it proves that I'm an amazing musician to anyone. It doesn't fulfill my ego thing. It doesn't come out and say, hey, look at me, my fucking fat ego is amazing and I'm so good at music. It doesn't scream that. It screams like really raw, authentic emotion, which I obviously appreciate, but that wasn't what I expected for my first song. But I know that this is supposed to be my first song out, and I just had a moment of, like, knowing how much I cared about her story and my love for her, and knowing that the song was complete the way it was in all of its flaws. And, you know, the piano's really off, a lot of things are off, and I could have fixed it, and it didn't feel like it wanted to be fixed. It felt like it wanted to be in that raw state, and it's not something that is a flashy song that impresses people. It's not that expensive car to, like, impress people, you know? It's like a real honest raw song. And that's when I had my ego death, when I said to myself, I don't care anymore about if I'm proving anything to anyone. This is no longer about proving anything to anyone. This is about, you know, my love for her and my love for women and the things that they've gone through and stuff like that. And it was just like, I don't give a fuck. Because another thing, I don't know if this is gonna be like a gender specific reading, and I'm sorry, this is probably the longest I've talked about my own personal stuff, but it feels like Michael really wants me to bring it up, so apologies if you don't like this, but definitely click off if so. I had realized that a lot of what I had done over those 10 or 11 years when I was trying to perfect my production skills was me trying to prove myself to men. And that Aries energy is also a lot about, like, proving yourself, you know. It's like, it's kind of intense in that way. And I realized that this proving myself wasn't just a proving myself as a musician, it was a proving myself to men specifically, because music production is a male-dominated field. So I had realized that all this time, here I was trying to liberate my female, you know, whatever. I was trying to uplift myself as a female, liberate myself from the female wounding in my lineage and all of this stuff, and at the same time, I just realized, like, I thought I was liberating myself. I thought I was freeing myself by working so hard and just, like, being so hard on myself and trying to prove that I'm the best. But what I was actually doing is I was killing myself and dulling my light in order to prove myself to men. Because I thought about it. Am I trying to prove myself to the world, all people? And it was like, no. If I really, this is like a part of shadow work. If you haven't done shadow work yet, I'm doing a lot of it right now. So this is like really getting to the core of these things. And it was like, no, if you really dig to the core of why I have been so tirelessly working to become like the best music producer, it's because I want to prove myself to men. And I'm like, oh my God, here I am thinking that I'm doing the right thing by being a strong woman in music production, but actually they are ripping the raw emotion out of me. They're making me analyze things. They're making me try to be the best when, you know, when your ego is in the way like that, that's never good. And actually I kind of always thought, you know, the way that we live in this country specifically, and other places too, is like, it's very competitive. And when you grow up in a competitive environment, and my parents were very competitive, I know Aries energy can be competitive. Let me see what time we have here. Okay, I'm going to shut this off because this shuts off at around a half hour. And we're back. So, you know, this country is very competitive. And when you grow up, when you see so many things being competitive, you know, with like, I don't know, sports, capitalism, all these things, like, just everything seems like a competition. And when you think that that's the purpose of life, to beat other people at things, we say things like we want to be the best version of ourselves and we want to be the best at this, and we think that's healthy. We think that we want to be the best at something is actually healthy. And if it's coming from a healthy place, that's okay, but I've realized that a lot of the times that's not coming from a healthy place. It's coming from a place of ego. It's not coming from a place of, I want a comfortable, happy life and I want to live the best, most fulfilling life that I can. It's normally coming from a place of, I want to be the best for my ego's sake. It's a lot of ego. So it's normal for us to have these egos that are fucking huge out to here as a means of survival. We're taught from the beginning of time, you know, that we have to compete to be the best, and that's healthy and normal. If there's any time that you want to be the best, it should be sometime when it really links directly to your happiness, to your fulfillment, your purpose, all of these things. If it's going to help you in something, make your life easier. But if it's ever to just be the best at something, I've always thought that was normal. I've always thought that was healthy, and I've realized recently that it's not, and that you actually don't get rewarded in life for being the best at things. And I'm not talking about like here in life, because certainly in the physical here world you do to an extent. But even I was watching that Paris Hilton documentary. I don't know if you guys saw it. But she, you know, she is very unhappy, which I assume a lot of famous people are, because she got to the point where she hit $100 million, and then she said, but I don't want to stop working until I hit $1 billion. So her whole thing is that she works too hard, and that's why she's unhappy and doesn't have a family, and or hasn't like had kids and stuff yet. And I'm talking about my friend who had kids and all this stuff, so maybe that's involved in some way. But she just let work and wanting to be the best in this ridiculous way, which doesn't sound like it's serving her at all. It sounds like she just wants to be the best at something. It sounds like it's absolutely killing her. And me and her are in very different situations, but I feel like it's driven by kind of the same thing. You know, she's a woman, and I think she referenced that. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I think she did mention, you know, the fact that she's a woman, and I don't want to knock women in that type of field, because normally I'd say, wow, you're fucking greedy, why are you still working for $1 billion, you greedy fuck, no wonder you're unhappy. But since she's a woman, I understand the ingrained, especially when you're a woman like her who grew up with like being known for being stupid and like being a ditz. I absolutely know the feeling of wanting to prove yourself to others, especially men. So, but that's where that ego thing like gets involved, and I understand, like I said, it's survival, it's defense mechanism, it's all these things. But the messages I've been getting from my guides, from Archangel Michael, from all of these people, is that this concept that we think is so normal here, that, oh my god, that's weird, I realized an extra card. Oh my god, this is a tangent, but I thought I pulled these 3 future cards. I thought I just pulled 3, and they told me to put them all in the horizontal. That card is. That's going to be a crazy card. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be, but that's going to be an important card, I'll tell you that. But yeah, ego, it's not healthy. It's not, like I said, if it's coming from a healthy place, it's fine, but it's normally not. Our ego here is normally very rooted in the wrong shit. And actually, a thing that Michael said to me, one of the only things that I can really read off of these notes, it's one of the first things he said to me. He said, you will be great, you will be God, you will be gone, and such is life. So the contrast between like, you'll be great, you'll be God, so you'll be like the highest level, the highest you can be is God, you know, godlike, and then right after that it's you will be gone, and such is life. So the thing is sort of like, no matter how good you think you are, everyone's still dying, and you still have to be humble, because you're gonna be humbled if you don't humble yourself eventually. Basically, that no one's as good as they fucking think they are. So, and he also gave me the phrase, or he said, where there is light, there is love, there is no ego, as above, so below. And I've heard that quote, as above, so below, a few times, and I just thought it was like a quote from some author or something, and I looked it up, and it's a really like it's actually a quote associated with tarot, and since he's been helping me with tarot, I thought that was interesting. And it's like a mystical thing in occultism, which it's basically like, you know, everything's connected. Look it up because I can't sum it up, but as above, so below. It's sort of like everything really is. No one's above anyone else. No one's below anyone else. If anyone thinks they're above anyone else, they're just wrong. If you think you're below anyone else, so it can go both ways. No one is that way. So I said this was going to be short, and I'm pretty sure I haven't even flipped over a fucking tarot card, and it's been probably 40 minutes. So I'm so sorry, but he really wanted me to just emphasize all this stuff, and I think I'm okay to move on now. He just really wanted me to emphasize that ego death thing, and how we need to, I think there's one other thing. Oh yeah, so I wanted to say, when he's telling me that the ego, even though we've been told here that that's really important, and like proving yourself and being the best, that's important, it's not important. And what is important is actually living a happy life, which sounds like some basic shit that you're like, okay, whatever. But if you really think about it, have you ever thought that, like, your purpose on earth is to live a happy life? Or have you thought, I need to do 100,000 things. My purpose on here is to, like, become the CEO of this. My purpose on here is to become this. My purpose is to do this. Literally, what I'm getting from everybody that I ever channel is, like, they like when we ask for help if we're doing poorly, if we're not in a good mindset, if we're not feeling good, they really like, I used to feel selfish asking for help. So if I ever prayed or anything, I'm not religious, but if I ever prayed, I would pray for other people. I would never pray for myself, or I would never ask for help for myself, because I thought that was selfish. And I'm like, why would anyone want to help? Why is the world or the universe just going to want to help me? I didn't do anything to deserve it. What the fuck? Like, I'm not going to ask for things for myself. What I'm realizing now is people, the universe, whoever you believe in, they actually want you to ask for things. They actually really like that, because it shows that you want to have a good life, that you want to have a happy life. So it sounds like easy, but when you really think about it, it's a kind of crazy concept. It's kind of like thinking that your boss wants you to like go on vacation. You know what I mean? It's thinking that like you doing the best at work is actually you going on vacation the entire time. That's like the way I can describe it, is like thinking that you have to work really hard and like kill yourself and do all this shit here on earth, and then actually realizing that you would have gotten farther in their eyes if you prioritize your happiness first and like really having fun. Having fun is a huge thing that I'm learning to prioritize now. So when I work, I don't think I'm going to work and my priority today is working, and then I'm going to try to have fun around that. My priority is having fun every day, and I also work. So it's like having fun is the first thing I think about, and work is just a part of my day that I have to do, and but that's not the main focus. That's like a little side dish. That's a little side dish on the fun of my day. So yeah, I wanted to let you know that if you can replace your ego with really wanting to just have fun, it's not that hard to like want to have fun. Having fun is amazing, but I think some people just need to know that the universe wants you to have fun. It's not like you should be tortured here. I know my Aries parents both don't know that. My Aries parents think that the sole purpose in life is to live like a very difficult, hard life and just work really hard and have no fun. So, and I know Aries are really intense people, so maybe you just need to hear that like, I understand why you are the way you are, but know that better things will come to you for actually just like having fun, which is like a 2-for-1 deal, you know, like you're having more fun and you're gonna get more shit. So prioritize fun, prioritize happiness, try to not prioritize your ego, and try to really analyze where your ego is playing into different things, because sometimes it's hard to really figure that out. So look into shadow work if you don't know what that is. Look into ego death, whatever the fuck, like look into all of the things around ego and how it might be intertwined into things from birth, and how you can figure out how to get that out of the things that it's intertwined with. Really work on that. That is your from me to you, from Michael to you, an important lesson. So I think I wanted this to be quick, and I haven't flipped over a tarot card, so let's try to get through the tarot cards pretty quickly. 7 of Swords, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Temperance, the Devil reversed, the Chariot reversed. Yeah, I think this reading is going to go along with. Yeah, you know, I've only flipped over. So I said Temperance, the Devil reversed, then you have the Chariot reversed, and then you have 3 cups. I want to say that this is aligning with what I just said, which is like the Devil reverse is like flipping around toxic cycles. So maybe you've been in this toxic cycle of like having your, oh yeah, well I'm going to include the Temperance too here. I'm going to include the Temperance here. So she's really balanced. This is finding balance in your life. So balance between work and play, balance between all of these things. And the Devil reverse is flipping toxic, detrimental cycles on its head and really making progress. And that's amazing. The Chariot is normally a really fast-moving card, but it's reversed here, and I think you're just taking a step back and relaxing. This is what I'm asking you to do. If you're not already doing it, that's what you should be doing. You totally deserve it, because I think you've probably been doing a lot. and trying to prove yourself and trying to work really hard. And then you have the Three of Cups, like I said, about the threesome thing. And this is kind of significant for me because I was saying in that reading, who the fuck was it? Sagittarius reading. I'll give you like a little bit of the story because we're already almost at an hour probably. But basically, I joked, I'm a Virgo rising and I like to work. And I joked that I was never going to lose my virginity if it wasn't at work, because I always said I didn't have sex because I was always working. And that is actually what happened. I actually lost my virginity at work. It was for a story. I was supposed to write a story on this all-female orgy, and I ended up like going and doing a lot of stuff. So this is that threesome card that I was talking about, and that was a moment for me where I was just like, you know, letting loose for once in my life. I was like naked surrounded by 50 women. Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like that's the epitome of letting loose. I was literally at a work event and like just like fucking bitches. So this is the energy that we definitely want. Yeah, you're getting out of your mind. Yeah, let me flip over some other. Oh my god, you got this happened yesterday too. This happened yesterday too. I only pull a limited amount of cards from this future deck. I use this shiny deck for future stuff. And I pulled how many? 3, 9. I pulled 10 from your past present. This deck is what I use for the past present. And so I only pulled 3 from the shiny deck, which is the future one. And you got the Devil again. So when these cards show up twice, I know that they're important. And like I said, they told me to put all of these cards in the horizontal position, which is like my unsure position. So I think they just want you to know that like you're working. I can tell that you're working on this, or you're going to be soon on slowing down and like deep, like working on pulling out these deep rooted toxicities within you, these toxic cycles. And this is just in the horizontal position to remind you that you need to keep on that in the future. This is not something that you can just do now and forget about it. They want you to know that this is something that you really have to keep up in the future, and you have to actively work on it, and actively, it's kind of like alcoholism, which actually the Devil is, it does stand for addiction. So if you're dealing with addictions, I'm really sorry. And I know you can do it, and this card knows that you can do it too, because it's not upright. It's just reminding you that it's a thing that you need to stay on top of. So it knows you're going in the right direction. It knows you're going to beat it, but it wants you to know like it's going to require long-term work. And I'm not telling you it's going to be hard. It could be depending on your situation if you're dealing with addictions. Speaking of addictions, and I wanted to bring up this story and I didn't, but I'm going to fucking bring it up. Sorry if your reading's 2 hours. Apologies. I have sort of like a coffee addiction, and my guides have been telling me to stop drinking coffee in the most blatant ways. And it's because I get really bad migraines and I have a lot of other health problems that are linked to coffee. But I fucking love coffee so much. So every time I buy coffee, and I know that I shouldn't, I spill it. And I've been on my 7th spilled coffee. 7 in like a month or 2. They get really mad at me. They even sent me a person. They told me, I was taking a walk with my dog, and they told me to walk around the block and go halfway up. They told me where to go, what street to go on. They told me to go halfway up the street. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know what I was going to find there. I go, and halfway up the street, this guy, random guy, starts talking to me about whatever. Anyway, just a random stranger that I met. Next day, I see him again. And he says, how are you doing? And I say, I'm good, but you know, the humidity really, it's actually not so good for me. I get a lot of migraines in the humidity. And, you know, who the fuck says that to a stranger who asks how you're doing? Like, you know, you say good and you move on, especially in New York. People don't even answer you when you say, how are you doing? So the fact that I felt the need to tell this guy, like, this whole thing about my migraines was really strange for someone I just met. But he goes, do you drink coffee? This is the first thing he says. I didn't say anything about coffee. He says, do you drink coffee? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I used to have horrible migraines, and all I had to do was quit drinking coffee and it solved everything. I've never had a migraine since. So they literally sent that guy to me because they're like, this dumb bitch won't get this through her head when she keeps spilling her coffee, like this dumb bitch. So we need to actually get a human being to tell her to her face that she needs to stop drinking coffee. So finally, after months of trying to do it, I realized I helped, the Aries full moon helped me release my caffeine addiction, or my coffee addiction. I still have a little caffeine, but coffee specifically is bad. And for the last few days, I've been consistently making chais in the morning, and I haven't gotten coffee, and I've been like, oh, this is kind of good. I really like this. I haven't had a migraine. I felt amazing. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm going to stick to this. I don't feel like I'm going to cheat and go get coffee. So I really felt like I beat my addiction. And do you know what happened today? I got a knock on the door. I didn't answer it because I wasn't expecting anybody. And I go out and I see a little bag at my door. I'm like, I see it was a delivery for someone else for an entire different building, and they accidentally brought it to my building, to my apartment, and it was a little bit past when they had delivered it, and also there was no way I was going to be able to get into this other person's building to like re-deliver it back to them. So I didn't even like really think about that. But it was a coffee, and not just a coffee, it was the exact coffee I order at this coffee place nearby. It's my favorite coffee, and they have so many different coffee flavors there, and the fact that it was the exact one that I get from there delivered to my doorstep after I finally beat my coffee addiction was like the universe saying congratulations for doing the hard work and like actually beating that. So just know, whatever addiction you have right now, if you have something, it could be an addiction to proving yourself, it could be an addiction to a substance, maybe it's an addiction to coffee, maybe it's an addiction to bad foods. I also just went vegan too. Like I've been really releasing all these attachments to other things. So anything that you're attached to, know that you, especially right now, I just feel like the energy is really good right now. We're going to have another really powerful full moon at the end of October on Halloween. So really harness that to let go of any tendencies that you have that are kind of eating away at you. But I just thought that was the funniest thing. I've never had any wrong delivery sent to me. No, I feel like normally they don't leave it at your door. But it was fucking coffee. It's hilarious to me. So, okay, yes. And the next one you have is the Sun, which is the happiest fucking card in the deck. I haven't seen this in any reading yet because it's a really, I don't think a lot of people are going to get to this point because they're not going to put in the hard work that you're going to put in, because you're going to turn that hard work that has gone towards the wrong things, because you work extremely hard but you've been working for the wrong things, you know? Working towards ego shit, working towards things that don't really matter and don't bring you happiness. This is that happiness that I was talking about. This is what the gods, goddesses, whoever you worship, whoever you believe in, this is what they want for you. They want you to be happy. Happiness is not something that you don't deserve. Happiness is not something that makes you selfish. If you want happiness, the whole world wants you to be happy. So it's like a win-win situation. You get to be happy. The world is happy that you're happy. You're going to get more rewards because you're happy. You're doing the right thing. You're not prioritizing the wrong things. So I'm so happy. And there's even just like a baby on this. This baby, it's just like when I was saying that my friend had this baby, I feel like you're going to be reborn. Like this is going to be a new life for you. You know? It really is a new life. And when I was talking about the ego death, the death and the rebirth, the whole thing, it's just really cool. So I'm so happy you have this card. Like I said, no one else has gotten it. And I think it just is so beautiful. So it's pure happiness, happiest card in the deck, and I'm so happy for you that you have this. Right after the Devil, to go from the Devil to the Sun is such a stark contrast, and it's something I think only an Aries could really do, because you guys have that determination and willpower that I think maybe has been invested in the wrong stuff, and you're just going to shift that. You're going to maintain that huge, powerful energy and just shift that into something really beautiful and peaceful and not anything that's going to destroy you. I'm really happy about that. That's amazing. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. you're just gonna be like, you're gonna be like lighthearted. Nights are not like as serious as, you know, the king and queen or whatever. They're lighthearted, but they're still like, they still know their shit, and like they're still getting money. This is still a Knight of Pentacles. Like, they're still getting money. So what I was saying about rewards is like, a lot of people don't think they're going to be rewarded for being happy. We're not taught that as people in this, I mean, I guess I'm talking to people outside of America, but I think in the world, you know, in the world, like, we're not taught, like, you don't grow up, and people ask what you want to be. It's like, astronaut. I want to be like the president of the United States. And it's not like, I want to be like genuinely happy. And you don't get paid for being happy, but you do. You might not get paid physically for being happy, but I actually think you do. I actually think more things come to you. I actually think that more rewards come to you. Like that fucking coffee that just showed up on my doorstep. I didn't even have to pay for it. Things just appear for you when you are happy and you are accepting good things into your life. Because what happiness says, and what working towards happiness says, is I accept good things into my life. I know I deserve good things. It doesn't say I'm not worthy of good things. It says I'm worthy of good things. I accept good things, and then good things do come your way. I mean, I know there's more to it. I don't always subscribe to that whole, the universe is just going to work everything out, but I really think that you attract better people when you're happier. You keep happier people around you when you're happy. You know, it's just like the whole thing of being happy and being relaxed and at peace just tangibly does bring in better things for you. So I'm really happy for you. And we have the Four of Pentacles reversed, and with the Four of Pentacles upright, there can be balance issues. There can be things like that. But like I said, you are flipping anything that is out of balance. It's kind of like what I think with the Four of Pentacles sometimes is like very like capitalism-y. It's like you work and you like slave away for this person, and it's very like person kneeling below and like begging for money, and it's like this guy up here like waving a coin or something at your face. I don't even know, but you're just turning that whole concept on its head. Like, it's no more of like you're working so hard for this tiny little coin. You're not doing that anymore. What you're doing is you're prioritizing health, prioritizing happiness, prioritizing breaking toxic cycles, and in return, you're going to be just naturally, things are going to literally arrive on your doorstep. Like I said, like that coffee, things are literally going to arrive on your doorstep. Okay? Pentacles, baby. Like money, like you're gonna have happiness, which is a reward in itself, and other shit. So get ready for your fucking coffee and 2 chocolate croissants at your door, baby. Don't say I didn't warn you. Yeah, sorry for all the personal shit. I hope it wasn't too draining, but I think this is a gorgeous reading. Like, you're uprooting some really heavy shit, and I have complete confidence in you, because who else but Aries to do it? So happy full mooning, happy removing anything that is not happy from your life. Happy happiness. Have a happy, wonderful life, okay? And have a happy night. Good night.